some women don't feel like they're being masculine by taking out the trash or helping with the bills. Hey everybody, so today we're going to be talking about millennials and how they feel about relationships and gender roles and things like that. We do have these discussions often. I felt like putting on some makeup and I did like a little poll on Instagram, so I asked a bunch of questions related to the topic. So I'm going to share those answers with you guys, and we're just going to discuss how we feel about it, if anything has changed or what you've observed right now. Okay, so I already have on my primer, my foundation, my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish doing my face and have the conversation with you all. So one thing that I wrote down was, do millennials have standards while dating? A lot of times when I'm talking to people about what they look for in a significant other, and a lot of times it's girls that I'm asking, so let's just say women that I ask this question to, they're like, oh, he has to be 6'5" and he has to speak a lot about a guy's physical attributions. And I almost never hear women mention anything about success standards as far as professional life. I always usually hear it pertaining to a physical stature. So with that being said, let me go to my first little question on Instagram. So I just came up with this out of the blue today, and I did like a lot of cute little backgrounds, so it was real cute. So I started with, I want to talk about feminine and masculine energy, and this was the picture that I used. And then I said, does a woman pay bills in the home? And then I did like a little survey. So does a woman pay bills in the home? 70% said yes, 30% said no. And most of the people that are interacting with these posts are women. The next one was, does a woman taking out the trash regularly with a man in the home produce masculine energy? Now, I had 73% yes on this one, 27% no. I don't know if I told you guys I'm drinking Cabernet. I don't know if I said that. Okay, so for that one, I was a little bit surprised that so many women were open to taking out the trash, and especially with a guy in the house. Now, granted, I don't know if they thought that I meant just opening up the lid and chucking it out into the dumpster, or if I mean putting it in the trash and pulling it to the curb and securing it, putting it back week after week. That's what I mean by taking out the trash. Basically what you would do if you lived by yourself as far as trash duty. So again, we had 73% yes, 27% no, as far as it producing masculine energy. Okay, so what I meant by that was, does that exude or produce masculine energy coming from a woman? So let's move on. Alright, so the next one was, if a woman pays 50% of the bills in the home, is she now a roommate? And I got 45% yes, 55% no. So that was pretty equal on both sides. One of my friends, I put that and she said, Ashley, please. And I'm like, this is serious. These are serious conversations that I feel we have to have, you guys. If your man was a millionaire, would you expect to pay bills as well, ladies? And I got 100% no. So that answer threw me, because I thought for sure if some of the women that said that they would not, that they do pay bills in the home and that 50-50 doesn't make them a roommate, I thought that they would answer differently for the millionaire question, because I would think, you know, you would want to keep it equal, and just because he was a millionaire didn't mean that you didn't have to pay anything. I thought that that's where they were going with that. So to have 100% no tells me that we are thinking on some type of scale what we would want to see happen if our counterpart was a millionaire. We are fully aware that we better not be paying for nothing if our counterpart was a millionaire. So that said a lot to me, and then it also started to confuse me. So I mean, it's just yes and no poll. It's not like people could write out the answers. I had only maybe 2 or 3 people write me directly in my inbox. But a lot of these people, I feel like they don't say anything either way. They kind of just like my pictures and keep it moving. So you have followers like that as well. If you're cooking, cleaning, sexing, maintaining your look, are you not naturally putting in more? I had 75% yes, 90%, 75% yes, 25% no. So that I thought was pretty fair. Women know that we have to get our hair done, our nails done. If you wear makeup, you have to pay for that. You have to learn how to apply that. That takes time, patience, money. Nails, toes, I said. If you have a gym membership or not. If you get spa treatments, med spa treatments, you know, things like that. So naturally it does, I think, take more for a woman to upkeep herself than a man. A man typically would get haircuts, buy clothes and shoes, but some guys don't really buy clothes and shoes that often. So mainly the haircuts. So that was fair. So I said, what is a man's role in your life romantically? Meaning, what do you expect from having a male's presence around? One person wrote me and she said she expected stability and security. And so I was like, okay. So this is where we kind of get into the nitty-gritty, if you will. And that's when I started to speak about, because I started to think about the conversations that I've had about, you know, these topics, the age group, the age difference. Also, I thought about if you live with your partner or not, and I thought about if the person had ever been married or not. And so I started to put different things into place according to those different factors. And so this next topic was, or the next question was, from my experience being a divorcee versus women who've never been married, produces much different expectations from men. And so basically what I was saying is, I think that women who have been divorced before or married before and separated, I think that their expectations are naturally higher, unless you have a woman that is kind of like over it completely. Like, okay, I'm dating, but I want all my own stuff because I already know how this goes. When people get mad, they can put me out. Unless it's a woman like that, I see where women who have been divorced, I think it's a bit more difficult to try and go backwards and have like something where you move kind of slow. Even if it is something that's better for the woman, you know, if it's more beneficial and more secure and safe for her, I think it's very hard to like, that would be the equivalent to me of being like, you know, the age that I am now in my 30s and trying to live like I was 15 or 16 again. I feel like it's two different worlds. I feel like, I mean, when you're married, you share everything. You get to know when your partner is, you get to know when they're coming back, and you know, you get to know certain things. You're privy to certain information, shit, social security numbers. So it's almost like a tag-along person, like life partner. So when you try to go backwards from that and go back into the dating field, that's why you see people are so uncomfortable on like first dates when they've been married for a while and stuff like that. People don't know, like, times change all that time while you've been married. And then you try to get back out there and it's very difficult to do that. So I think that that definitely plays a part, because more people are definitely divorced now. That's your woman. It's just a different mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Is being a woman more expensive than being a man? 89% yes, 90% no. I think it's some pick-me-shits in the group, just to be honest with you. But a lot of women felt like, yes, it is more expensive to be a woman than to be a man. I agree with that. Do you feel like you need to help your partner financially? 71% said yes, and 29% said no. Now, I don't know what that's about, unless, I don't know, I tried to base it off the 50-50 roommate question, so it kind of threw me off. But it just seems like these days it kind of takes 2 paychecks to live pretty nicely. That's honestly what I can say about how things are now. I think that people are willing to put their money together, trusting each other. Now, that's a great deal of trust. You got to trust that this person is not going to screw you over, especially if you're not married. But even married couples now are putting their money together to get their dream home and things of that, nature. I think that that's okay. I think that that is okay for a while. But ladies, I think that, and I hate to be like Debbie Downer, but this is real facts. Like, that is okay for a little bit. But I have been in the position where I'm like, wow, like it comes down to sometimes when you go out with other couples or you see other couples out and you kind of wonder about, everybody does it secretly when you're out to dinner and stuff like that. You kind of wonder, what it's like for them if they have, you notice when people have money or whatever. Or even if you always have to go Dutch for the bill with him and you see people out and, the man is like, no, I got that. It makes you wonder, like, what is it about me that I can't have that? You know what I mean? Because there are some women who would, like, never have to pick up their wallet. And I've seen that coming from, and I'm just being real, I've seen that coming from women that are very well put together. And I've seen it on some kind of frumpy, not really well put together. I don't keep up with the trends. I don't dress nicely. I've seen it on both ends of the spectrum. So I really just think it comes down to people are putting their money together to probably diminish debt and just build together, which is scary for me. I'll admit it's pretty scary for me to do that. It makes me feel more so like a partner than a romantic relationship, honestly. And that's the last thing that I want. But I think a lot of people are gearing their mindsets toward that. It doesn't have to be that way, but it just depends on your partner. Do you make more than your man? 67% said no. 33% said yes. I asked that question because I'm like, okay, so maybe some of these answers would make sense if these women were making more than their man. Do you yell at your man because you're handling things for the most part? 83% said no, and 17% said yes. So that's a form of demasculating a man by yelling at him and exerting your masculine energy, which naturally comes from when you have to be masculine, i.e. when you have to take care of things for the household. You kind of take on a masculine role because it puts you in a leadership position. A man takes care of home. These days, the roles are definitely reversed. I'll say I'm getting more open to that idea because, if you want something other than that, you really do have to date older. And then you have to deal with, if the person can relate to you or if you can relate to them. It would be nice to date older simply to get that game, that experience from an older man. But again, there will be downsides to that, so it's not something that's for everybody. So I think people like to feel more like they're with someone that is their equal. Is there a such thing as pussy power? 89% said yes, 11% said no. That 11% that said no, girl, bye. I do believe in pussy power. I do. I feel like that's self-explanatory. If you don't know that and you have brothers, you need to go check with them because it's true. So yes, when dating or looking for a partner, do you consider the person's finances? 83% said yes, 17% said no. I don't. Again, so that means women willingly know that they're going out with someone who can pretty much afford to probably take them out here and there, and they're not really expecting them to take them out all the time. And sometimes the woman will probably pay for the meals and stuff. And some guys like that. And some guys won't allow you to pick up a check. Does having high standards equal gold digging? 100% of people said no. Surprising, because a lot of times people say, I don't think that people know what gold digging is. Yeah, I think that people just are not clear on that. I think that people think that anything that a woman gets from a guy is gold digging, and that's not what gold digging is. I think we're using the wrong term on that, but 100% said no, so that's good. Women know that they're not gold diggers just because they want nice things. Oh my god, I almost sprayed my brush cleaner on my face. That wouldn't have been good. Oh, I had to spray that down. Okay, I think my camera's about to overheat, but let me finish this out. Would you date a man 20 times your age? 75% said no, 25% said yes. So, have you ever been told that you're asking too much? 67% said yes, 33% said no. Women are being told that their standards are too high. Do you believe you can have it all? A loving man who provides and protects? 100% said yes. So 100% of women are still looking for their Prince Charming. Do you settle just to avoid loneliness? 78% said no. 22% said yes. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, I think some people are lying, but the 22% that said yes, I appreciate your honesty. Are you afraid to date up because you think that you will be controlled? I think that's what I wrote. Hold on, it timed out. I did that. My story looks good. Some of the women are afraid that they will be controlled. Which is one of the things that I used to wonder about before I started getting into leveling up. And okay guys, so I'm back. I went ahead and finished everything, but this is the final look. Yeah, so guys, weigh in down below. Let me know your comments and thoughts, because I know on a poll it's hard for you to get your point across exactly what you mean. I just think things are different now with the dating field, and there's a couple factors that I feel like attribute to that more than others. Some women don't feel like they're being masculine by taking out the trash or helping with the bills. They just don't feel like they're exuding masculine energy. They feel like they're just as much a part of the household and need to take care of it just as much as the male. So let me know what you all think, and if there's something that you wanted to elaborate on that you couldn't just because it was a poll. Would you like to do more videos like this where we kind of talk about how the dating scene is changing and what to expect? Because there are some women that are and this is, you know, there's some men as well, but okay, I know that I geared this more towards women, but the reason being for that is just that I want this to be a place where women can come and feel comfortable discussing things that might be outside of the norm, things that people don't normally talk about, or even if we have a different perspective on it than the vast majority. Because what I realized is that just because the vast majority might find something normal or the social norm doesn't mean that that's how everybody feels, and everyone should have the space and opportunity to say how they feel and not be judged for it. So open dialogue is most definitely welcome, and even if you grew up a certain way, I say it all the time, like I let it be known how I grew up. If you grew up a certain way and that is why you believe that your beliefs are the way they are, then you can say that here. This is not so much a man bashing channel or a man bashing video or anything like that. It's just, this is about women and women's point of view. So if you're a male that's peeking in, maybe you can get some tips, or you can leave your, you know, respective opinion. But my goal is to reach women and to give women a place where they can feel like they don't have to fit in a certain category or box or be a certain way that everyone else might want them to be, or how they feel that everyone else might want them to be. So with that being said, I do see a difference between now and even 6 months ago about the way that I think about dating. And now I think it's more so the norm that women feel like they are their man's partner. And that brings me, that's funny, because I feel like marriage is a partnership. and women think that they are their significant other's partner or their equal now. So that's different for me, and something that I'm not gonna say I can't get used to, but I just kind of still feel like, if that's the case, can't I do that by myself, or do I just have to have somebody else to fill a void when I'm essentially doing the same things I would be doing if I were single, as far as the household responsibilities? And, well, if I were single, I would be paying it in full, but being with someone, maybe you don't live together and you're both paying your respective rent and bills, it's like, I don't get it. Again, I think that's because I'm coming from the mindset of cohabitating more often than not. And like I said, I just think it's different once you have been married and try to get back out there in the dating field, where you're dating men who have never been married, don't know what that responsibility is all about. It's really a learning experience along the way, and it can be painful and it can be bumpy, and you know, that's just something to think about. So with that being said, I just want to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Either way, whatever side of the coin you're on, please feel welcome to leave your remarks down below, however you're feeling. I tried to make it a neutral video, just giving how I feel at the end, but honestly guys, my feelings about all of this have changed so much. It's like, I don't even know how I feel anymore about the level up and about just certain things, because there's certain things that I want and I know I can't have it always. So that's just me. So I am being open and vulnerable with y'all, so just let me know how y'all feel about it. Do you feel like you're settling? Do you feel like the playing field doesn't have too many great options in your specific age range? Are you willing to date older, or are you comfortable being the sole provider or the dominant, or you know, male, well, not male dominant, but if you're a woman, do you feel comfortable more so having more control over the finances so that you're able to come and go as you please? So I don't know. If you guys let me know how you feel down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn your post notifications on so that you're alerted every time I upload a video. And that is all for now, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, vlogs, and everything else. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.